Kia ora. Hi, I'm Catherine. I share stories of everyday life through illustrated postcards, synchronicities, and small creative rituals. My viewers are mostly from overseas, so I like giving a small look at what life in New Zealand is like while I work on creative and community projects. Today's video has two parts: my latest postcard design, and then the behind-the-scenes planning for our Japan student exchange in 2026. Alright, let me show you this month's illustration. So this is my latest postcard design here. I'm really excited for this one. It's quite different to the first two postcards I've illustrated. I filmed the whole process in Procreate. I'm slowly figuring out how to use the software. I'm very much a beginner, and every postcard teaches me something new. A lot of this is trial and error, but I'm enjoying that part of the journey. I finally took another online class to just get in a little bit more knowledge. I learned how to isolate certain parts of my design and colour them in without colouring over the lines. I also learned how to put a colour palette together. Digital tools give you freedoms you don't have on paper, but I'm still retraining my habits. This week I was struggling with how layers work, and I was creating more than necessary. But in making the mistakes, I'm figuring it out. I feel like little by little I'm able to do this more easily, and it will just become so much more enjoyable, because when I am illustrating and it feels like I'm doing a watercolor because I'm using a watercolor brush, it's just so immersive and fun and creative. This design is inspired by the classic Kiwi sausage sizzle street food stand, with the vibe of a food stall or restaurant in Japan, with the fabric bunting above, which is called noren in Japanese. I love drawing these kinds of cultural moments. They feel warm and familiar, even though they're from far away. So it's finished and I'm really happy with it. If you love snail mail like me, you can actually get one of these from my online shop, and I will write you a personal message on the back, put a beautiful New Zealand stamp on it, and send it right to you. It's a wonderful way to swap stories, and it just feels so personal, and I love being able to connect with my viewers. I send postcards all over the world, and I love that people far from New Zealand get a tiny piece of this place through something handmade. So alongside the creative stuff, I have been deep in planning for the Japan trip with the fundraising committee. Last weekend I had two of the committee members at my house, and we planned out the whole year ahead. So here's what December is looking like. We've got some set dates along here. We've got pies being delivered shortly. We've got a school board meeting coming up, checking a letter that we're proposing to present to local businesses, and they just need to sign it off and make sure that we're saying the right things. There are so many moving pieces, and this sticky note taking method is the only way I can keep it straight in my head. And then I've noted that we've got a committee meeting coming up. So that committee meeting is going to be chaos, with 14 families there, all talking over each other, all sparking ideas at the same time. This system has really brought calm to the chaos, I feel. I feel like I'm going into this meeting quite well prepared. So the sticky notes on here are the events that we're running. They are a movable feast. You know, if someone decides they want to run differently at the committee meeting coming up, I can just get a fresh piece of paper, record it all again from scratch. They're quite complex events, the ones that we're running this month. There's a lot to them. The yard work raffle, that has 3 shifts of people over a 3-hour period. Every hour our committee members will be swapping out. So we've got 5 time slots, sort of pencil booked for December, that the winner can choose from. They can't actually say no, like they can't say I'm not available for any of these. Their options are, if they're not available, they could transfer the prize to someone else, but it's not redeemable for cash, and this is just simply the prize that they went in the draw for, and this is what it is. So the sausage sizzle will be of quite a big deal this time. It will be on the 20th of December, close to Christmas. There'll be a lot of people around shopping, so we think we're going to need a lot more supplies. Last time we sold 220 sausages, plus we had people coming by giving donations. We had people queuing up before we had product ready to sell. So there's a few crinkles to iron out for this one. We'll need someone to run it, we'll be busier, need more supplies, and we need to confirm who the participants are. So I'm just in process of doing that behind the scenes at the moment. And the other thing I'm really loving about this is just learning from people who have done fundraising before. And the other one I was quite surprised about was our local cinema, which is really quite nice. You know, it's your normal, lovely, big box type cinema. They are very open to doing fundraising. So you hire out a cinema, you're allowed to do bake sales inside. So even though it competes with their popcorn sales and their frozen Cokes and things, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do raffles. So anything that happens in there, they don't mind. You go make as much money as you want. You sell the tickets, you sell the raffles, you sell your baking, and go for gold. They hope that you make a lot of money. So at the minute, we're just figuring out when we can make a booking with them. Hopefully in winter, somewhere like July, when it's all cozy and people want to go somewhere, they're a bit bored in the winter, not much to do. So really looking forward to that. So that's all the planning taking place now. It's a lot and it's fun, and I am learning so much. I've learnt about how to run a car wash, how to run a movie night, how to run a quiz night, how to run a garage sale. It's all in here, I tell you. There's so much going to be going on in the next few months. So if you're interested in following this fundraising journey, this journey to help us send our children to Japan on an international exchange, just keep watching. I'll keep you updated in future videos.